Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, big show coming your way tonight. Plenty of topics to cover. It's been windy. We've only got one more weekend of daylight saving. Easter is 3.5 weeks away. The year is starting to fly. We're going to talk about the RACV boat ramp survey. We're going to talk about the new Rec Fishing Guide. Brim slot limits, boys, because you guys are brimbos, I reckon. Plenty to talk about tonight. But ads, you know, the old weather, it's not been kind to kayaks, it's been windy, it's been hot one minute, cold the next.
Yeah, got a bit of a taste of what's to come in winter. But that's all right, it can do that as long as it comes back to normal, but the wind is outrageous.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the end of that for a bit.
Adam Vanderloot, you've been seconded tonight to replace Chris, to replace Trelly.
Yeah, I'm back as Trelly's stunt double, so it's good to be back.
But Chris was, so you're replacing Chris. Yeah, like seriously, there's this tiered approach, and we'd rather you actually.
I'm down here somewhere.
Yeah, we'd rather you. You know what you're talking about. Anyway, that's going to be a big night tonight. So, guys, very ordinary conditions over the last week, like lots of wind. There was a hailstorm
but at least
around Lilydale on Friday night.
Yeah, we had that small window on Sunday morning for a fish, but realistically that was for the keen ones because the wind did get up, and when it decided to blow, it blew hard, and then obviously the change come through and it got cold, which was a bit strange.
Yeah. Adam, you guys over in Geelong have had free boat ramps forever, haven't you?
Yep.
So this week...
Do you laugh at us?
Well, actually, other than Queenscliff's a paid boat ramp, but we've got Limeburners and St Helens, they're both free ramps.
Yeah. This week, Better Boating Victoria was launched, and we're going to talk about that tonight. And we've got the 2 hard basket.
The 2 hard basket, back in action.
Adam, I'm not sure whether you know about the 2 hard basket.
I did say
you saw it last week.
I did.
A couple of challenges going on at the moment. But anyway, we'll talk about that later on. Hopefully it doesn't get too much of a workout, but the 2 hard basket is here. So anyway, let's get on with it, folks. Let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
And now, has it been a remarkable year for flathead?
Well, it seems consistent that we're seeing
the old blue spot or yank is the most common species that takes a great pick and looks a great size. Adam, over your side?
Yeah, we've seen heaps. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's really good. And the size too is getting better.
The thing, we've said this a couple of times on the show, you never see a small yank flathead.
That's right.
Yeah, they're only ever big.
Yeah.
True. So, I don't know. Anyway, love to know about that. Have a look at this one. Cameron Slaninka. Got a beautiful, great photo, by the way. Cameron, 67 centimetre flathead in the Warneet Channel, just out the front. Turned it into a beautiful plate of fish and chips. He did send that photo in too, but only room for one photo. But fantastic, Cameron, to see
67's a big. I don't think people realise how good a 67 centimetre flathead is.
It's a good fish.
It's a good fish.
A couple of chunky fillets off that. So there you go. The King George whiting have been equally as good in Western Port as well. The Eastern Channel has been a pretty hot spot this week, and Andy Birch got out the other night.
Good couple of handfuls there.
And yeah, they're decent sized whiting, I'd have to say.
Haven't slowed down at all, the old whiting.
No.
I like it.
If you went out the Eastern Channel or the Western Channel, you'd end up in Bass Strait, and a little bit further out past there is offshore, the kingfish. Stories of schools of kingfish offshore from Western Port at the moment. It's Guesty and Matt, have a look at the fish that they got. I mean, these aren't...
Are they good ones?
These aren't just little rats.
Yeah.
You know, they're
real ones.
Yeah, they're decent sized fish. So I had a customer in the shop during the week, last Friday night actually, and he said he was chasing tuna everywhere, and there was a pack of boats sitting on a pinnacle just jigging kingfish after kingfish. He said it was amazing to see. So hopefully he gets out this weekend.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Although I don't think the weather's that suitable. Over in Port Phillip Bay, Werribee. There's something in
A
the
bit of a
water at
sneaky.
Werribee. No, there's something in the water at Werribee. It's not what normally people find floating in the water. Have a look at this. Now, Logan Vesey, a lovely flathead off Werribee. His dad rode in. Hi, Dave. This is Logan Vesey with his first ever flatty. It went 42 centimetres, fishing from a kayak with his dad.
There you go.
Logan has his own kayak.
Wouldn't have caught that in the boat.
We're off Werribee south on the weekend. Had a ball catching roughly 30 fish. Dad got a PB flatty in the yak of 52 centimetres. We were unable to show Logan's dad on TV due to being unsuitable attire. So
Oh,
anyway,
really?
Yep.
What was he wearing?
Wearing a Richmond jumper.
Oh,
No, not having any of that crap on this show. Collingwood and Richmond are banned.
Oh, you
How
just
is it? The Saints, like they've climbed their way into the 8 after such a long season of 1 week.
You realise
Saints are in the 8.
You realise all you've done in that game.
Hey?
Do you know that game on a weekend, St Kilda and Gold Coast, it was to determine who's going to get the spoon. So congratulations, you're going to be second last.
I'm happy with the win. I'm happy we're in the 8. Anyway, let's get going. Also off Werribee, John Calancis. Have a look at this, a lovely gummy shark off Werribee. And
Off Werribee?
yeah, not the only gummy shark around in Werribee, I can tell you. There's been plenty, so it's been good. The snapper seemed to be in fine form at the moment. You would think that it's October.
Yeah.
And I guess that water temperature, although still quite warm, plenty of snapper around. Ross Fountas, have a look at this, a cracking
that's a good
snapper
fish.
in 12 metres off Black Rock. How good is that?
That's quite unusual, that shallow for a fish like that at this time of year.
Yeah.
Black Rock, we hear a lot of the deep water stuff, but
Yeah.
that's a great sign if they're still chewing in there.
21.4 degrees I had on the screen on Sunday when I went out, and
that's not bad.
that would normally say a little bit too warm for snapper.
Yeah.
Normally they're still a bit shut down, but anyway, they just, I think it's March and they're getting impatient and
Just
want to
getting into
leave
it. That's right.
start to eat and all that sort of stuff. So have a look at this, another great bag of snapper from down at Mornington. James Tartaglia, his dad Andrew, had young James out on the boat
That's
out
a
of
great
Mornington.
session.
Nice feed
Yeah,
there.
great
sure.
fish.
Hey,
James would have been stoked.
lovely feed there. One of our hotspots last week was Blue Rock Lake down in Gippsland and Rosemary Tugard. Or how would you say
that's
it?
where we'll go.
Nice.
Tagardi.
Tagardi, could be. Rosemary, we got that right anyway. Lovely bass.
Good bass.
Some good bass hang around in Blue Rock. Yeah.
Good bass. What do you
And
reckon?
to kick it off-
Top water?
For sure.
What's that?
Top water, you reckon?
Maybe. Or,
Soaking a scrubby?
yeah.
That works.
That's what I do. There's skill in that. How you thread the scrubby on the hook. And have a look at this one. Lucky last, a 97 centimetre Murray cod coming out of Lake Marwala during the week by Lee Marn. A beautiful fish.
Great fish.
Good stuff,
Was that in one
Lee.
of the comps? They seem to have comps every second
no
week at
idea.
Marwala at the moment.
Yeah.
Either way, good
There
fish.
you go. If you would like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au. Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
Now, I've got to say that, like I was saying, 21.4 degrees I had in Port Phillip. I'm not sure what it's doing outside, but Adam, over your side, you're from Trelly's in Geelong.
Yep.
Are you hearing many kingfish reports over your side?
Yeah, we are. So we're hearing them. Well, the reports of the fish in the rip have sort of slowed down a little bit, but there's still fish there. Tuna, salmon. But all our kingfish reports are more so coming off sort of between, say, Torquay and Anglesea.
Yeah.
Or Torquay, or even down as far as Lorne.
Sitting on reefs or are they just out
I mean,
on the surface and all that
if
sort
you
of stuff?
pick the right day, you'll get out there and you'll see them. So you find the activity and cast into it, and that's how guys are getting fish. So, but it does sound like there are a lot out there.
Yeah. No, all good. Let's head to a break now because we've got a lot to cover tonight. Fisheries news coming up next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing, and a bit of news tonight, but someone on Facebook has just tried to tell me that the Saints are ninth. How can they be ninth if they won the game? Hey? We're in the 8th. There's no way they're ninth, I can tell you. Don't try and trick me.
Ninth.
Telling you. They're not ninth, are they? They're 8th.
I reckon what?
If you win, you've got to be 8th.
Yeah,
Can't be out of the 8th on a win. Is there 9 games every week? They're yelling.
18 teams.
Shows how much. Is that right?
Ninth.
They're yelling in my ear how to talk. I know nothing about it. That's how much disinterest I've got. Are we 9th?
Yeah.
I'm devastated. I thought we were in the 8.
We lost them only two spots behind you.
Who are you? Collingwood. All right, let's get into it. First headline is Victorian first to create 6 new native fisheries. That's the headline. In a Victorian first, 120,000 golden perch have been stocked into the Malmesbury, Colaban, Lauriston, Tullarup and Barkers Creek reservoirs and Lake Belfield to improve native fishing opportunities thanks to the Andrews Labor government. Lauriston Reservoir has also been stocked with 25,000 large Murray cod fingerlings weighing 5 grams each. The stocking plan is a brand new venture recently developed by the Victorian Fisheries Authority together with local angling clubs and peak angling body VR Fish at a special Vic stock meeting at Bendigo in early March. So boys, it's starting to roll out already. Plenty of native fish being stocked.
I think this is one of the better initiatives for a long time. Just a lot of these places are winter-only fisheries because of lack of depth and warm weather. Just makes it year-round.
Absolutely. Went on to say stocking more native fish into Victorian waterways is a major part of the Labor government's Target 1 Million plan to get more Victorians fishing more often. The waters are now stocked with golden perch and Murray cod, with further plans to stock more natives, including silver perch next month. Brown trout stockings will also be increased this winter to create exciting new trout and native mixed fisheries, which provide year-round fishing opportunities for anglers of all abilities. The newly stocked fish will take a few years to reach catchable size, so anglers can look forward to some phenomenal fishing in years to come. I always have trouble with that word. Phenomenal. Alrighty. Big announcement during the week. Making boating better for Victorians is the headline. Minister for Fishing and Boating Jala Pulford today announced that this was yesterday, that Better Boating Victoria will be established to oversee the introduction of free parking and launching at all public Victorian boat ramps. It's part of an unprecedented investment in boating and fishing by the Andrews Labor government that will ensure every dollar of licence and registration revenue can be directed to projects that improve boat ramps and other facilities. The Labor government will establish the Better Boating Fund to make possible boating facilities upgrades and major maintenance of Victoria's boating infrastructure. So there you go. We have a name to the organisation.
There we go. Just got to get it rolling now.
Just got to get it rolling because it is the number1, and you guys hear it in the shops all the time. One question on everybody's lips. When will boat ramps be free? So Better Boating Victoria got a very big job to do and a very quick job to do. Went on to say Better Boating Victoria will also review the management of boating infrastructure in Port Phillip and Western Port. They had better, I can tell you. Consultation with key industry stakeholders in the fishing and boating industry will commence shortly to further refine the scope of the Better Boating initiatives. These changes will make it easier and more affordable for Victorian families to get out on the water.
Nice one.
So hopefully that happens.
Fast forward on that one, I think.
There was a corresponding, one little concern, corresponding Facebook post that the words were, launching and parking fees will be removed as soon as possible from as many ramps as possible. And I know that sentence there has copped a lot of flack
because it doesn't
on
really
social
say
media.
all, does it?
Well, the Premier sat here and said that he'd make all Victorian boat ramps free, and someone has decided to put in the words as many ramps as possible, and that doesn't sit real well with me, I can tell you.
No, because
it's one or the other. We can replay the tape if those would like to hear it. All right, big comp coming up, boys. You got a bit of info in front of you too. Go Fish Ngambie.
Yep.
It's counting down the days now. It's the Anzac long weekend, if you like.
Yep.
Massive fishing comp coming up. $80,000, and I think we've got a bit of a slide. $80,000 for the biggest Murray cod.
I'd say one of the few comps that hand out cash as well as prizes.
Yeah.
$80K for a big cod.
$30,000 for the biggest yellow belly.
That's serious money.
$2.80 for the biggest carp. apparently. Australia's brand new fishing tournament powered by Mercury Marine with 500,000 prize pool. Over 400 prizes to be won. Trelly's going to be there, as well as camping, bars, bands and big fish. So Anzac Day, long weekend.
That's going to be huge.
That's on it.
Time.
GoFishNagambi.com.au. Massive comp. This one's an interesting one, boys. Bit of news coming out of the Water Minister, Lisa Neville, out of her office during the week.
Good friend of the show, Lisa Neville.
Well, she's booked to come in on the show.
Good.
There's a lot to discuss. I reckon, and sorry to get off topic, but when we're in drought, there's a lot to talk about with water.
Yeah, and tell me that wouldn't be the hardest job ever, looking after water when there is none.
Well, it's like would Lisa, do you reckon Lisa Neville, like when she hops in the shower every night, does a rain dance? Like you'd want to do a rain dance, and it makes your job easier, doesn't it?
Massively.
You know. So anyway, Lisa Neville booked to come on the show in a few weeks' time, hopefully. So lots to talk about with water because there's some really good initiatives putting kayaks on some of these impoundments.
Yep.
And, like we're going to cover it all with Lisa Neville. So, but out of Lisa Neville's office this week, the headline was more water available for northern Victorian farmers. The Andrews Labor government welcomes a decision by Victoria's environmental water holder to make additional water available in northern Victoria. The environmental water holder will sell up to 10 gigalitres of Murray allocation in the northern Victorian water market. I'm probably confusing you here. Don't worry about the rest of the slide. I'll tell you what happens. Right? The Victorian environmental water holder actually has an allocation. They own it, right? So they're like a statutory authority, a bit like the fisheries authority, and they have an entitlement. They're saying that they can put that down the river whenever they need to, but it's not required this year. They don't need it for environmental flows because enough water's gone down.
Yep.
So what they can do is they can actually sell it. Now,
is water expensive?
I think it is.
You'd think it would be, like just looking at it logically.
$3.50 a bottle, right? No, serious. And you imagine when they let out of Lake Eildon, it's worth millions. And I think it is worth millions. I'll go back to this slide, that first slide. Revenue raised from the sale of this water will be invested in projects planned to boost native fish populations in northern Victoria, like works to improve fish habitat and movement. So again, I think we might get Lisa Neville to talk about this in a few weeks, but they are going to sell the 10 gigalitres to farmers.
Yep.
And that whatever profits, and I believe it's in the millions, will go back into native fish boosting habitat and things like that. So we might skip the rest of the slides because it's a hard one to understand. Ads. Kids Fishing Day at Turrum was on last Sunday. Tell us about that. How was it? I think we got a photo of you there.
173 people turned up.
No way.
On the banks of Turrum. And it was a great day because the weather held out just beautifully. Like I said, plenty of kids. There was about 20 odd fish caught. Everything ranging from trevally to ludrick to leather jacket to salmon come on as the tide come up, and it was a great day. There was kids winning fishing rods, and it really was a great day. So a big shout out to the Turrum Angling Club because a lot goes into organising these things. They had their fingers crossed for the weather because the same event last year it hammered down with rain all morning, so it was a little bit tough. But the turnout was brilliant. There was fish caught, and there was a lot of kids that left with smiles on their face, and you can't ask for more than that.
There you go.
Great day.
Yeah, that's awesome. A couple of last little bits of news. Bass boost for Lake Guthridge. I know we haven't got a slide on this one, but last week there was 875 Australian bass fingerlings put into Lake Guthridge down in Sale. The new additional stocking complements 15,000 Australian bass that have been released into Lake Guthridge since 2017. So
nice.
Plenty of bass down at Lake Guthridge in Sale. So, boys, one of the things, the other thing that came out this week was the RACV boat ramp survey.
Now, the first thing that strikes me straight away, RACV.
Yep.
Has this got anything to do with working towards free boat ramps?
I don't think the government's even talking to the RACV.
So why on earth would the RACV be doing a boat ramp survey?
They just decided to do it. Don't know.
Why not?
So, yeah, and what they did is they ran a survey. They got 1,300 respondents to their survey, and it virtually revealed the best and the worst boat ramps in Victoria. Now, the average ramp rating, the state average was 2.9. Now, I'm not sure whether that's out of 10 or 5, but it pretty much says that most of our boat ramps are pretty shit.
I'd be guessing it's out of 10. Well, just saying.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because, I don't know, I didn't do the survey myself, but the Patterson River scored a 4.3, and that was the best boat ramp in the state.
It'd be out of 5.
Probably out of 5. But isn't it pretty ordinary that our average is 2.9?
And it's pretty ordinary that our best boat ramp doesn't have any cleaning facilities.
Yeah, no washdowns.
no cleaning tables.
No. That's because those government authorities that used to manage it had no idea. Didn't want that sort of stuff. And we can only hope that Better Boating Victoria wants fish cleaning tables and washdown facilities and all that.
2.3.
2.9 was there. 4.3. Clifton Springs got a 4.
Oh, yeah.
Rye got a 4. Well, so it should, because they've just spent $18 trillion on it. Turrum got a 3.8. Geelong will come in 5th. Lime Burners got a 3.7.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So that's a freebie.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think the worst ramp was Warrnambool. Victoria's worst boat ramp, according to the people who use it most, was Warrnambool's Lady Bay. Users said it needed more car parking, more trailer parking at busy times, and 75% rated the ramp's surface as extremely poor. So anyway, let's just hope that Better Boating Victoria got the email. I'm not sure they're on email yet, but hopefully they got the email of the RACV survey. And
yeah, I'm sure they would have looked at that with a keen eye.
If they've surveyed 1,300 people, you should take notice of
what's going on.
People said. So there you go. Coming up next, product of the week. We've got something different for you. I'll tell you what. If you're into your sword fishing or deep dropping, all that sort of stuff.
Just lazy.
Correct.
Just lazy.
Yeah, nice.
Whiting fishing in 3 metres. We've got something different for you next on product of the week.
Talking fishing.
Spotters, Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Now, I'm seriously devastated. When I read the Sunday Herald Sun, it said that Saints were 8th. What happened?
They probably played more. They probably played the rest of the games that were scheduled for Sunday.
They don't play every game on Saturday afternoon anymore. Hey, when I was a kid, they used to play every game on a Saturday afternoon.
So back when the Saints
I
were
read
good.
the Sunday Herald Sun. It said that the Saints were 8th, and I've been celebrating for 3 days now that we're in the 8.
Yeah, no.
I'm just devastated. Whoever told us that. Paul on Facebook says, "Why aren't we interacting with the audience on Facebook?" Well, what do you want us to do? We're on TV, mate. Yeah. Facebook's just a little thing on the side. We're not going to sit here going like, "Oh, Paul said that." Yeah.
We've got ad breaks,
TV, mate.
Lift your game.
So, we're not looking at Facebook. What the hell is this?
Yes, we have got something a little bit different and just a little bit exciting, because one of the biggest parts to recreational fishing over the last couple of years has been fishing in excessively deep water. Now, whether that's deep dropping for blue eye, harpooker and the likes, or swordfish, which has just been a massive thing over the last couple of years, buying electric fishing reels can be very expensive. They also lack a little bit of drag power. Shut up. Wait your turn. We have this little contraption which essentially turns your game fishing reels into an electric reel. This is called a deep drop spooler. They're available in many different forms for many different reels, but to show you tonight, we've actually bought in not only the Tiagra fitting, which I'm holding in my hand now, but we've also bought in the Talica fitting, Dave, because coming into swordfish season now, Easter is about the time where the boats start heading down to Lake's entrance and they start looking for swords. It's going to happen. And for those of you who have ever tried to wind a reel up from 80 to 100 metres, let alone 400 to 600 metres, it gets old very, very quickly. Not anymore.
Especially if you've got chicken arms.
That's right. That's it. It gets old very, very quickly. Now,
because in reality, you've got 500 plus metres of line out.
Yep.
You've used a couple of house bricks to get
just to
down
get it
there,
to the bottom.
But even your bait at 500 metres weighs a bit and has got a lot of resistance
That's
to
right.
water.
And the same rules apply when fishing in deep water. Checking baits often generally results in more fish. This makes checking a bait or winding in something from a hit, you got no bait, so much easier because you will literally...
Have you been going to gym?
No, just a little bit, mate.
Okay. Sorry.
This is a deep drop spool. Let me show you how it works. Dave, you hold on to that. This is a Talica 50, the go-to reel when it comes to deep dropping for swordfish.
What a fantastic reel too.
Now, these deep drop spoolers are made specifically depending on what reel you have because all the mechanism around the handle changes in shape and size. They're extremely well made. You will not be able to break it. And all it does, it fits into a standard hand drill. There's a couple of secrets before you go. Don't just jam the thing on the handle and start hit and go.
Charge the battery.
Charge the battery. Now, with battery charge in mind, Dave, we want the reel in low speed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this will all make sense in a minute. We want that in low gear. It is in low gear. We want the drill in low gear.
Yep.
Because if you go flat knacker, that trying to wind in potentially a couple of kilos worth of weight at high speed, all you're doing is draining your battery for no reason.
You'll get speed wobbles too,
That's
I
right.
know.
That's right. The other thing is to make sure, the cutout on the end of the spooler fits over the mechanism on the handle where the two-speed function is. So push that on nice and tight.
Yep.
Now make sure...
Kind of clicks on, doesn't it?
That's right. Make sure it is clicked in because if you just start
Make sure
winding,
you're holding your rod tight too.
Yeah. If you start using this without it clipped in, it's actually putting majority of the pressure on the two-speed casing, not the handle. So we want to put all the power onto the actual handle, not the two-speed casing, so they're not doing any damage. Plus, you don't want this bouncing off and damaging your very expensive game reels. Now, with that on low speed, this on low speed, all you've got to do is use the drill.
No way.
And that winds your fishing line in.
Hey, Ants, we've got 3 metres. We've got 497 to go.
That is a hell of a lot easier than trying to wind that in by hand. It is quicker, low speed on both. It gives you a lot more control over the drill and a lot more control over the handle.
Do it again.
It also, trying to wind up a few kilos worth of weight on low speed is a hell of a lot easier on the gear and the drill. So the last thing you want to do is drain the battery on the first 2 retrieves. That is the deep drop spooler. If you like fishing for blue eye or you like fishing for swordfish, it is literally one of those things I would not go unless there is one of them on the boat. Because these aren't fast retrieve reels and they never ever will be. So now you can use the power of a Talica, you can make it function like an electric reel, and it's happy days for everyone. That is the deep drop spooler. It comes in Talica and Tiagra, you buy in separate fittings because the mechanisms around the handle do change in size. They are also available in pen, but make sure you come and talk to us about the pen ones because there's a lot of variation. They're a little bit more tricky to fit. They do exist, but they can be a little bit hard, and I'm sure it will be coming, but the new International VI, there isn't one that actually fits it yet because they did change the construction and the design of the two-speed mechanism. So have a chat to us if you'd like one for a Pen International. The Tiagra and Talica are ready to go on the shelves as we speak, and I think these are going to be hot property over the winter season when the deep drop fishing, whether it be at Portland or Lakes Entrance, Malakuta, you've just got to have one. You really do, because it makes life that much easier and helps you enjoy a day on catching some of the best eating fish in the ocean.
There you go. Well done,
The deep drop spooler.
Yeah. There you go.
See that? Handy man.
Now, boys, change the subject. The new recreational fishing guide, which we introduced last week. We might just have a quick look at that because there's a couple
Some interesting stuff.
There's a couple of changes this year. One of them, they've introduced a couple of species that I'm not sure were in there in previous years. Tiger trout's one of them.
Yep.
Because they're going to start stocking them. But you boys noticed that barramundi were in there.
Yes.
Because they're still alive down
Barramated. You can still go and catch them.
So, yeah. The other one that I noticed was that in there, against all the species, and there's they have the standard pictures, you probably can't pick that up at home, but all the pictures of all the different species in there, there was, it used to be bag/possession limit. Now, it only says bag limit now. They've got rid of possession limit against all the species. And then when you go to the back of the book, so I think this has been a bit of a myth for a long time. People have always said to us, what's the possession limit? And people have said, oh, it's 40 fish. You know, let have 40 of anything, or it's 3 times your bag limit, or whatever it is. And I think it's been a bit of a myth because has there really been a law about it, about a possession limit? No, there hasn't.
Some species was there, but not all?
Yeah, I think it's back towards the back. I won't be able to find it. Oh, no, here you go. Possession limit, the maximum number of a particular type of fish that a person can possess at any one time anywhere in Victoria, including your home. It applies to southern bluefin tuna, Murray cod, abalone, yabbies, Murray spiny freshwater crayfish and rock lobster. So anything other than those species, there's actually not a possession limit.
So for example, if I was to go on holidays
to Malakuta
and I was there for 5 days and I got my bag of bream every single day.
Was that 5 or 10?
10.
10?
Yeah.
So I'm actually allowed...
And you had 50 bream in your freezer?
in the esky, ready to go home. I'm actually allowed to have that.
You are?
As long as I stick to my bag limit per day.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, Malakuta was artificially opened
last week,
last Friday, I think. Yeah, all that rain from New South Wales flooded over the roads. They had to artificially open Malakuta. So
and
Lake Tyres, by the way, just down the road where you're fishing this weekend, they've just about pulled the drain on it.
And Glenelg opened too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What else is different in this, boys? You guys have been having a bit of a look.
If I've got a really cool fish tank at home, say I wanted to cruise down to one of the local waterways and catch a redfin and pop it in an esky with an aerator and take it home to put in my tank. Am I allowed to do that?
I don't think so. Does it say anything in the book?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not allowed to.
You're not allowed to do it.
I've got to ask for permission.
You could go through the translocation evaluation panel. It's about a 7-month process, and then when they provide their advice to the CEO of the VFA, you might be able to take that redfin home in an esky with an aerator.
No.
Only if you have a permit.
Too hard.
Anything else?
Leave them alone. There was a few interesting ones I come across.
Roach
all of
and
which,
tench?
Yeah, roach and tench.
I don't remember them being in the last ham. I could be wrong, but I don't remember them being listed.
We're also allowed to take a Port Jackson shark now. Did you know that?
You weren't allowed to?
They were protected for years.
Oh, there you go.
But you can actually take one now.
Anyway,
bit going on.
Get the new book. It's out in all the good tackle shops.
And they're free.
The new Recreational Fishing Guide. Funded by your recreational fishing licence. There you go, great book. Coming up next, Kramer's Mailbag, next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wear the line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. I tell you what, a lot of interaction with the audience tonight out there in
bit of
social media. They're saying that the 2019 Rec Fishing Guide online hasn't quite updated yet. News already in from the VFA saying they're working on it. So,
look at that. Just getting things done immediately.
Getting things done. Bit of mailbag this week. Last week on mailbag we had God, I'm hopeless with names. Dale wrote into us saying that the Rawson Crater Lake in the middle of the town of Rawson was almost dry.
Empty. Yep.
And there was all these dead silver perch. Well, on listening to or watching our show, Kramer's Mailbag segment, the Victorian Fisheries Authority got down there, and I think we've got some photos here, got down there with the nets and rescued what perch were left, which were silver and golden. Wow. Look at that bloke. I mean, he's up to his elbows in mud. And they are troopers, these guys. And that's Casey Fields. So they transport.
Is it really?
They you can see the pier in the background. There are now silver perch and golden perch in Casey Fields. Yep. And they, until the water situation is resolved in Rawson, I mean, those fish were going to die. So they're now thriving, and all those little mosquito fish,
they're in all sorts of trouble.
Are just going to be so fat. Well done to the Victorian Fisheries Authority. Acted on the show and got it done. So there you go. Hi guys. Now this is from a female fly fisher, Lauren Smith. Lauren writes in, just wanted to give you a bit more info on the Stevensons River because I'm very concerned about it too. Last season I went trout fishing with a mate between Buxton and Marysville. Now, remember last week we were showing a log completely damming the Stevensons River.
Correct.
And so there's
some old mate in his farm had...
Yeah, well, his pipe, wasn't in the water, so he just put a log across it to raise the level, and then the trout can't get through. So anyway, Lauren writes to us, we noticed as we headed towards Marysville, the water turned a real muddy colour. The culprit, some serious earthworks and big gum tree removals on the banks of the river. I reported this to the Goulburn Broken CMA as well as the other bloke did. They took the incident seriously, and I then made a statement to 2 wildlife officers at Delpt. They still have them. Wildlife officers. I found out that the landowner who was illegally removing the trees and changing the flow of the river was well known. I'm not sure the outcome of my complaint, but I think the authorities need to pick up their game because this new dam construction could seriously mess up a lovely self-sustaining trout fishery. I find the landowner's behaviour arrogant and very disrespectful. Some butts need to be kicked in CMAs and DELP.
If he's known, it shouldn't take too long to sort him out then.
No, you wouldn't think so. Another one sent in by old mate. No, can't remember his name. I didn't write it down. Old mate, front page news of the Waratah Bay News, I guess it is, but Walkerville. There was a rescue. They're saying it's the most worst thing I can read. I tell you, I cannot even read it. So the committee of management down there at Walkerville decided they would shut the South Walkerville boat ramp
because they didn't want people on it.
No, and they generously allowed 17 car parks for the North Walkerville boat ramp. They said that's enough. And when the weather turns nasty, you can't retrieve at the north. Like, it's open to the sea, you need to go to the south. There's bollards in. And bollards, these committees of management, they think bollards are the answer to everything. Stop people getting in, lock up the parks.
It won't take long for the bollards to be removed, I wouldn't say.
No, but I mean, someone's going to get hurt. There was a rescue there, people got into trouble. And anyway, I'm sure Better Boating Victoria
that'll be higher on the list.
Walkerville will be on their list. I'm sure there's someone working overtime on it tonight.
What do you reckon its rating out of 5 would have been?
About a half. About a half, I reckon. Yeah. All right, this is from Helen. So a lot of female contributors tonight. I watch your show every week and I'm wondering why you never talk about Corner Inlet. It would be nice if every now and again you tell us where the hot spots are within Corner Inlet. It would also be good to mention that the long jetty at Port Welshpool is now open and is great for fishing. We call it we call the jetty a poor man's boat with the upgrade they've provided. Bait boards, rod holders and fish cleaning tables, something that's missing from most of Victoria's boat ramps. It's great to see so many families and children fishing of it. So thanks for that, Helen.
Yeah, that's a good upgrade. I've got
to admit, we get 0 fishing reports from Corner Inlet.
Yeah, we do. Do you hear much from Corner Inlet?
Not at all. No, not where we are.
Helen, spread the word. We want reports.
Definitely.
From there. And, this one here is from Jeff Jeff writes, this was in response to that the show we did last week about digital fishing licences.
Oh, yes.
Hi, David, Adam and Trelly, or Chris, or Adam, whoever's on this week. I enjoyed your show.
You right?
Yeah, no, I'm reading it as I enjoy your show. How I do have a question. About the possible new fish. It's hard to read sometimes. Imagine if they handwrote it. I was just typing it. New fishing licence that you were discussing on Talking Fishing. I can see 3 problems. As a person who only buys a licence for 2 weeks a year, I will not download any apps on my phone, as I only use it for making and receiving calls, and I never use the internet or text on it. Well, Jeff, get with the times. I have 2 disabled children. One is 19 and the other is 17. They do not have a phone, but my 19-year-old's mind is that of a 5-year-old, and he likes to see it in writing, like a certificate or reward. So he thinks he has done good, even though he does not understand what a licence is. Jeff, that doesn't matter, because with a digital licence, you can still get a card.
Yeah,
still offering that.
Yeah, that's right. And you can, and I dare say you'd still be able to walk into a tackle shop like our own and get a licence over the counter. But if you did want to go digitally, that's probably, we did speak about possibly having multiple people tied to the one account, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And the third one is, what happens to tourists who don't have a phone? Well, I've heard on the grapevine they're talking about banning Tasmanians coming to Victoria. So, so all the problems are solved there, Jeff. Thanks for your mail. If you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
I reckon your little PO box there is going to be full of Tasmanian letters next week. Just saying.
Yeah, ace. All good. Well, but, you know, we probably should let them in to fish for our trout. We've got pretty good trout, haven't we? We're going to open up. What's that place we're going to open up that's going to be better than Tasmania?
It was your story.
At the back of Mount Baw, what's that lake? That's not the Thompson, whatever it is. It's on. I'll get it after the break. I'm going to go to a break.
He's going to Google it on his phone.
After the break, 1 year next Monday, Adam.
Yeah.
Corio Bay has been totally net free. I want to hear your opinion of how Corio Bay is fishing 1 year on next Monday. Great stuff. Jarl Pulford, Travis Dowling have delivered that. A remarkable achievement that people said would never happen. 1 year next Monday, Corio Bay is free. But next, hotspots on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World Cranbourne.
Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start.
I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat.
Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for.
Hotspots, brought to you by Seamaster Batteries.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Now, the all-important hotspots, boys.
Yep.
People love this part because they're just ready to go. And even though the weather's going to be absolutely atrocious this weekend,
so it doesn't matter where you say,
they'll still be dreaming about Aspendale snapper. Let's kick it off. Aspendale, 15 metres. There is some really, really good snapper. And
worth having a look around at all the
usual haunts.
GPS marks that you'd have in there for snapper season.
Yeah, some good fish. Kind of over your way, Adam. You know, there's been a lot of whiting caught in the past, probably 5 months now, and some places are a little bit. I'm not saying overfish, but starting to wear thin because there's been some heavy traffic on whiting. It's been a big season, but one place that I think is way beyond anywhere else right now in Port Phillip Bay is the Pinnis Channel. You can head out there easily from St Leonard's and any of your places over that sort of western side, but good calamari and good whiting in the Pinnis Channel at the moment. So
depth, is it a deep water mark?
There's some good patches in 4 metres, and then there's a drop off to about 6 or 7. So, and you can fish either.
Nice.
So yeah, but calamari in both depths. So I like it when it's clear out there. Sometimes it can get a bit cloudy because a lot of fine sands around Mud Island. But yeah, that 4 metre mark where the weed
like
patches are, Pinnis Channel, plenty of calamari and some good whiting amongst it. Over in Western Port, as we saw in Catch of the Week, some beautiful flathead and also some whiting are in the Warneet Channel at the moment, boys.
Yeah, I reckon a lot of whiting get driven over as they head out of the Warneet Channel, but tell you, I'd imagine getting a mixed bag of King George whiting and 60 centimetre flathead.
I know.
Not a bad day on the water.
Nice, yeah. Another one down towards Phillip Island, those that are heading down that way this weekend. King George whiting, it's going to blow pretty hard southwesterly this weekend, but San Remo's not a bad place to get out of the wind. And,
very tidal, but
some lovely
really good
King
fish.
George whiting off there. So, Adam, tell us about the next one, Barwon River. Brim, Trevally.
Brim, Trevally, Mulway. Yeah, King George whiting. You never know what you get up there. I've seen 2-3 kilos snapper.
Yeah. Nice.
Right up through the Thunderbolt.
Now, for land-based anglers, any good?
Yep, yeah, it definitely is. You want to work around the tides. Try and pick a slack tide after dark. I'm talking, specifically Mulloway. Your Brim and your Trevally, if you can get a hold of bass yabbies, they're ideal. They'll work every time.
Bass yabbies on the edge of the Barwon River, are they?
On the edge, yeah. You don't. There's no need to cast out as far as you can. A lot of people have the idea that you want to get out into the middle.
Can you pump the yabbies from the Barwon River?
I believe you can down around the mouth.
Okay.
And then you're only 5-minute drive. You're halfway up the river.
Yep.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, if you can get up around the Thunderbolt, down the end of Sheepwash Road, I believe it is.
Yep.
There's a couple of good land-based spots there. We've got some jetties down there. But yeah, there's no need to cast out in the middle of the river. A couple of metres out from the bank. There are a few holes which you can find on the map.
Yep.
It's fishing really well at the moment.
Barwon River. Chris will kill you when he knows he's hot spot.
I know.
So there you
This
go.
might be your last show.
And lucky last, Anderson's Inlet, a lovely run of King George whiting down there at the moment. So
bash yabbies, number one.
Get down to Inverloch. There you go, boys. It is 1 year anniversary on Monday next that Corio Bay has been 1 year completely net free. Adam, you live down that neck of the woods. You work down that neck of the woods.
I've seen it all. Yeah.
How has it changed Corio Bay?
Well, we have seen definitely some improvement. Probably one of the biggest things that we've noticed is the extra amount of bait. So there's a lot more bait in the water, and obviously following the bait, we just get simply more fish. So we've got kingfish. We had a really good kingfish bite inside around Alcoa Pier.
Yep.
It does happen year to year, but the summer just gone was particularly good with numbers of fish. You can only assume that they followed in that extra bait.
Yep.
We're currently in the middle of a really good snapper bite, as you mentioned last week, off the Alcoa spoil grounds.
Yeah.
That's exceptional, probably the best. It does happen every year around this time of year, but the numbers and the size of the fish that we're seeing come out of there at the moment is the best I've seen in years.
Yeah.
We've got whiting, some of the best whiting and squid fishing, and it's been for months. That's really good. I write a fishing report for a local newspaper. I'm sure that the people reading it they're sick of hearing about squid and whiting, but it is that good, and it has been that good for such a long time now. And you can only assume that the only thing that's changed is that netting has stopped.
Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff.
It is
1 year on, and
great news.
I mean, there's still a few netters in the bay, and I think 2022 is the end of it, so still a little bit to go for the rest of Port Phillip Bay proper. But anyway, boys, I'd like to pick your brains because I reckon both of you look like brim fishermen. You do. You have a certain look. I mean, you two could be brothers. What's your thoughts on brim slot limits?
You can go first.
Well,
when I say slot limit, so for the people at home,
you're talking about
there's a minimum size, but there's also a maximum size, so you have to let the big ones go.
Is there a proposed maximum at this point?
No,
They'll be talking around 40 centimetres.
I guess specifically people are talking about it down in the Gippsland Lakes.
Yep.
Now, whether that makes a difference because we're in drought and they're not going to breed like they used to, or without fresh water anyway. So, is it worth protecting what's left of the big ones?
But, well, I think any slot limit or size limit needs to be based around research.
Yep.
Like, I'm sure everyone likes catching brim that are over 40 centimetres, but are they, is a fish of that size beneficial to the overall population? Like, is that going to make a difference throwing those big ones back, or have they already bred, all that they're going to do in their life?
Yeah.
If it's based around research and science, I'm all for it. But if it's just the fact that people just want to catch bigger brim, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it unnecessary at this point. But happy to be proven otherwise with a little bit of research. And I guess a bit of credit to the Victorian Fisheries Authority. They don't make these decisions just based on a few people going, put back the big ones. They do the proper research. The systems seem pretty healthy. I know there's a lot of environmental issues with do we open it, do we leave it closed, oh, I know it's flooded, or I know there's no water in here. That can't be helped. So, honestly, it seems a little bit unnecessary to me, to be perfectly honest. And I think you'll find majority of people that class themselves bream fishermen or specifically fish for bream, they're putting back fish at that size anyway.
The other thing I'd like to see is maybe some research done like how Paul Hamer does his whiting and snapper troll surveys. Actually start doing that on some bream areas. I don't know if they know where.
Especially to see if the constant change in environment with these systems opening or closing for such a long period of time, whether it is affecting the spawning habits. All right, all good stuff to talk about. Adam, thanks for filling in for Chris, who was meant to be filling in for Trelly. Appreciate you coming in tonight.
Anytime.
So, all good. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, Anthony Forster. He's going to tell us about the new fish hatchery, where he's at with that. Could be a little bit of news on prawns in Lake Tyers.
Oh, hello.
You would not believe the work that's going on behind the scenes. Plenty of that. A pretty ordinary weekend coming up, but it is the last full weekend of daylight savings, so make the most of it. Until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr.